So welcome to this Did You Know session. We're going to show how you can incorporate BlazeMeter into your Jenkins pipeline so you can run performance tests throughout the whole of your software development lifecycle. So let's start with going to Jenkins. The first thing you obviously need is the plugin. So if you go to the plugin screen, in our case we've already installed it. As you can see, you just installed it from the normal marketplace. You then need to add credentials. So if we go to the credentials of Jenkins, these credentials are the API key from your BlazeMeter account. So if you go into BlazeMeter, you can create your own API keys. And as you can see, we've added them to our credential screen here. And we've got the key ID and the secret. So at this point, we can connect to BlazeMeter. So let's go and add a BlazeMeter test to one of our pipelines. So here's the pipeline. We're going to configure this. And if we go down to the build steps, we've already added the build step, as you can see here. It's using the credentials we've just defined, and then in the workspace drop down, you can select the workspace. This is the BlazeMeter workspace you want to use. And obviously inside that workspace, you have the corresponding tests. So you choose the test that you want to execute. You can do things like enable Slack and Teams to send notifications, and those notifications will include the link to the BlazeMeter test. And obviously you can add additional BlazeMeter tests if you need to. So we're going to click off a build. So let's click on the build step. And this will do the build within Jenkins and also correspondingly kick off the BlazeMeter test. So we just started build 14, and let's go and click on that build screen. And we can click on the console output, and as you can see in the console output, we've kicked off a build and with a public link that contains the details that we can use to link to BlazeMeter. This public link means you haven't got to log into BlazeMeter to view the report. It just takes you there using a key that is generated by the plugin. And as you can see, we've now initiated our test that is going through its boot phase. The test will run, and while the test is executing, the Jenkins plugin will basically wait for the test to complete, and we'll go back and look at that log shortly. So as you can see, the test is nearly complete. It will then run through the test that has been defined, and obviously at the end of the test, it will then pass back the results back to Jenkins. So as the test executes, we can review the report live, as you can see here, but we want to see what's happening back in Jenkins. So we're going to switch back to Jenkins to look at the console log for the particular test that we're running. And as you can see, the test is now looping, waiting for the test to finish. Now, if we look at the previous test we ran, as you can see here, you can see the link for BlazeMeter is in the actual output. We can look at the console log and we can see this test failed because it did not meet the failure criteria. We can then go to BlazeMeter to view that result screen for that previous test. And if we click on the failure criteria tab, we can actually look at the data to show what failure criteria was not met. So as we go in here, we can see that the error count, we set a threshold of 3, it was 8, so that failure criteria is breached. Now finally, if we go to our Slack channel, we can also see that the link for the test has been sent to Slack along with the status of the test. So we can see here that the test failed and we have an active link, again with that public link that takes you directly to the test. So what we've shown you is how including BlazeMeter into your Jenkins pipeline will improve efficiency, give you faster feedback to development teams about performance issues, which enhances quality, and obviously overall that will save time and money and save cost. So for more details on BlazeMeter, please go to blazemeter.com. There's lots of blogs. There's BlazeMeter University, where we have lots of free courses on open source tools as well as BlazeMeter. Thank you.